latest entry of my video blog for Frank Moore Institute. I am Program, Interactive Media Environments. This is Odin. Since I am charged with holding him right now, I thought this is a great opportunity to make an entry since I can't do anything else, pretty much. A couple things going on. One is I got word about a new Sony visor that's come out, 3D visor, which can help you make 3D environments. I believe you can feed it right in, and you don't have to build your own visor. So that might be worth checking out. Unfortunately, it's priced such that it'd be hard to get 10 of them. But if you could get 10 of them, and then you have sensors, you can detect where people are in a room, and then they could see their virtual selves in a physical space, even interact. Would be quite extraordinary. Also learned about a new theater by the astronomy department here at Hansa, which will allow 360 degrees of projection, so that might be really interesting. And I wanted to use it, but I'm looking for things that are more portable so I could tour to other parts of Europe with work. So that obviously wouldn't be able to do that. And then on the sort of theoretical front, been writing a lot more, and I'm a little stuck right now with the causal. There's 4 levels of reality. There's the gross, so the material world; the subtle, which is more the world of ideas and energetic interpretations. So that can range from science to reincarnation to chakras, any models of reality. And then there's causal, which is sort of the emptiness where things are created. And I write a little bit about this idea of the genius, which in ancient Greece and Rome, the genius was thought of as a separate being that would give you your creative ideas. So that prevented artistic narcissism, because you couldn't take credit for your successes, but you also couldn't be fully blamed for your artistic failures. And I think it's a useful mythology. I'm not saying it's literally some creature in the walls of my art studio telling me what to do, but in a sense I think we do channel some kind of deeper wisdom or creativity or spontaneity or something, and then our egos just take credit for it. And then the 4th stage is a sort of non-dual wholeness. Anyway, I've been mapping those to Jung's model, and everything's been going great. And then I started to think about the causal. And now I don't really know much about the causal, nobody does, and how to connect this all with ecological causes and art that promotes ecological causes. And so I'm a little stuck. I'm reading a little more of the book, and I hope to sort of smooth this one out. I want everything to be really tight and pure and clean before I begin to imagine how to create art from this framework. So I think I'm close, but I might need a few more days or weeks to really get it to a place where I'm comfortable moving into the sort of the creative realm. And I've thought about maybe doing it, taking my essay and turning it more into a script. Not so much that it would be a very dramatic work, but maybe it would just be a way to help me start to bridge from the left brain to the right brain. Anyway, so that's my current blog entry and what's happening right now. And now I'm going to try to turn off the camera without knocking the baby over. Some sort of my addendum. Again, what I'm doing this time is I'm watching my videos and then improving them or making comments on them. So I noticed that I mumbled a lot. I think it's because I had so many ideas and I wanted to get them out, and also I was a little distracted by this fella here. So I think if I just slow down a little bit and risk missing some ideas, at least I'll be articulate. I'm trying to remember exactly what I said. I talked about these 4 levels of reality, and what struck me is that the gross level of reality is so much about the concrete things, what's actually physically manifest, and what most people feel is the only thing that's actually real. Science would probably draw the line right there. But of course, the subtle, people understand that there are ideas. There's a little question about where ideas come from and what they actually are, and concepts and structures. And so the causal is sort of where they come from. In this quote from this author, Elizabeth Gilbert, I think her name is. I'll put it on the blog. But anyway, She talks about how the ancient Greeks and Romans didn't know where these ideas came from. And I'm suggesting they came from the causal. Well, not me. I mean, this is a spiritual concept. But the causal side of this emptiness where things are spontaneously generated. And there's some ideas, and I've had some experiences of meditation where you're actually falling in and out of this causal moment to moment. So each moment the universe is destroyed and then recreated. And it gives a kind of a film strip model for what reality is, rather than a smooth flow the way it seems, or actually chop, 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 chop. That has huge artistic implications, obviously. And so before I can get to the fourth stage, which is non-dual, I really need to figure out the causal. And I think the other thing about the causal I am sort of stuck upon, because there's this connection I'm trying to make to ecological causes in art, is the causal good? Is the causal, I mean, ideas may come from there, but maybe bad ideas like polluting come from the causal as well. And so I was setting up a hierarchical structure where we're trying to move from the masculine to the feminine. But if the causal lacks any structure or morality, then it's not a hierarchical at all. It's more of a marriage or a relationship where they gain from each other. So that's kind of an important thing. And I don't know, I've been reluctant to go there, but it seems more and more that that's what's really happening. So I have to let go of the original structure of hierarchy. Certainly, I think in our society, I mean, personally, super over leaning to the masculine, but that doesn't mean that the masculine doesn't have things to offer. Anyway, baby's getting upset, so I just wanted to make that clarification, as well as articulate a little better, so I begin to train myself to speak more clearly in these videos. He's yawning now. Anyway, I think that was all I had, really. Yeah. Okay, signing off.